once you start shifting into your higher self, your world starts to change. It becomes very dreamlike, very cool, or very scary, depending on how much fear you've still got left in you, in your lower self. Because if you do still have a bit of fear left, and you haven't done all the work, and you could have traumas from past lives that could bring up a bit of fear. So this is the point of it. With this higher awareness, you can really heal yourself on all levels. But then once that takes place, that higher self has to be integrated as well. So as you healed and shone light on all your traumas of your lower self, and then you shifted out of that, you went into your heart, your love expanded you started shifting into your higher self, you started anchoring into there. Then from your higher self, you started, healing past life traumas, looking at it, discovering things, remembering things, discovering your powers, just abilities start appearing, reality starts bending and warping, everything's dreaming. Like you start realizing a lot of things from this level. I think that's where most people are shifting to. And then for the ones that really want to keep going, I don't think not many will, but, the next level after that, once that's integrated, but not many people will, because it's so fun being, it's so fun just being. Well, not really, it's no fun, it's just being, just neutral. But as you shift into as people shift in the higher self, they love it so much, it'll be like they're a god, they're loving life, everything is great, and most people will just sort of live in, I guess, between the lower self and higher self. They'll be doing that for a while. But those that really do anchor in the higher self, their life will change, because that's the midpoint. But they don't really know the next level up. So you have to sort of keep working. You have to sort of, you don't have to do anything. It's a figure of speech here. But you have to integrate. It helps, I should say. Well, no, and it needs to be done. It does have to be done, actually. The integration needs to be done of the higher self, as does the lower self, for you to even start realizing you adjust the awareness. No ego. So the next level above, so you've got your lower self, your higher self, then you've got like awareness. You know what I mean? Which is just the pure awareness. There's no I. There's no ego. It's just isness, the mirror, a pure witness. Right. So an individual really has to do that work on the higher self level, which is so fun and so scary and so crazy. I'm not sure if many will, but the real seekers out there, the ones who are naturally inclined this way, will. They're the light bearers. They're the masters. We are all masters, but there are some that are really here to get a job done, so to speak. I'm gonna get off track. Like, Earth is like a school. I see it like Earth is like this big school, right? And at this school, there are so many different grades. There's like, it's a school from kindergarten to university, right? And there are souls that are at all different levels of their journey, and they're here to learn different things. So some are in kindergarten, some are in uni. It doesn't make anyone any better than the other. It just means they're at different stages. But here on this planet, in this density, when we are in the lower self, we fight and compete and compare, and we don't realize we're the same fucking thing, But yeah, so it really is this big school where you can learn whatever you need to learn, because it offers something for everyone. Because everything is really here and now. You exist. You're existing here and now. And everything you need, you already have. So anyway, so when you start shifting into the higher awareness, once you start leaving your higher self behind, and look, it can feel very strange, because when there's no I or no ego, it's like another ego death. It's another ego death, because it's a spiritual ego. The higher self is a spiritual ego. It's a soul, so once that dies, it's not as bad as the first one, actually, because the lower self doesn't know anything. It just knows it's a limited little human. It just knows it's a human being. You don't, like, most people don't think they're the higher self. They don't even know their spirit. They're like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. Oh, hocus pocus crap. So like, you don't know shit. And the higher self, it knows it's a human. It knows it's awareness. It knows it's the absolute. It knows all these things. You know what I mean? It knows that. So for it to lose or relinquish control, or like lose its identity, or have that identity integrated or dissolved, so to speak, it's nowhere near as hard and as full on. It's still pretty fucking full on, but it's very scary, actually. It is very scary. I didn't find it scary, I guess, but because I just completely surrendered, and you have to, otherwise you're never going to get there. But yeah, it's pretty fucking scary, because it's like you don't exist, but you do exist, because when everything's gone, what's left? There's still something left. It's just a pure awareness, right? So it's weird. It's weird to understand what it's like to be just pure awareness. Nothing. It's nothing. There's nothing. But you just are. You're non-locatable. You don't know where the awareness is. Can you locate your mind? No, you can't locate it, really. It's like everywhere. Where's the mind? The mind's everywhere. The mind's everything. It's all mind. It's all the mind of God. So... yeah, and it's from this perspective. It's from when your awareness shifts into just the pure awareness, you realize everything's a mirror, and you start operating from mirroring consciousness. It's a different level of consciousness, right? Which is just pure awareness, the no ego state. So that's the Trinity: lower self, higher self, and awareness, or body, mind, and spirit. Or Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Lower mind, like lower self, mid self, and higher self. You can say it however you want, but there's a Trinity there, right? So that's the Trinity.